What's going on, everybody out in YouTube land, and welcome back to a new episode of GBA. In this episode I wanted to do a pickups video basically. Now unfortunately it's probably been a month and a half or so since I've done one of these, so I've actually accumulated a lot of games. So I'm going to break this pickups video up into two pieces basically. I didn't want a pickups video to last an hour or more, so I definitely decided that we'll do this in two parts. That'll make it a little bit easier to view. I don't want to bore you guys too much with showing too many games at one time. But yeah, so this is basically my pickups over the last month and a half. Got some really cool stuff. Nothing overly rare or terribly expensive, but I think it's some stuff that you guys might like. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching this pickups video. But without further ado, guys, since I've got 111 games to show here, I'm going to move along pretty quickly. A lot of these I won't really talk too much about unless I have a story in mind with a specific game. Some of these are fillers, so those will be sped through pretty quickly. But first of all, I wanted to show you guys the two systems that I sort of picked up over the last month and a half. First up, we had the Turbografx 16 Mini that I thought was going to be delayed in the United States, and I guess it was, but this actually came out over in Japan of all places. So I hopped on Amazon Japan and bought this, and they shipped it over to me. Got here pretty quickly, and I highly suggest this system. The Turbografx Mini is very, very fun, and there's several games they include on this system that go for a ton of money physically, so this is definitely a good buy and a great system. So yeah, Turbografx 16 Mini, awesome, awesome system. So the next system isn't really something that I picked up, more or less it's something that I modded myself. So in a couple of my previous videos I've shared with you guys that I'm actually collecting the game gear pretty heavily. It's a system I'm having a ton of fun with, but if any of you guys have played the Game Gear from the early 90s, you know that screen is absolutely horrible. The ghosting in the screen is really bad. You have to have it at a perfect angle to see the games and stuff like that. So I started doing some research and found out that you could buy replacement LCD kits and capacitor kits online. So I did that. Basically, I just reflowed all of the solder. I put new caps on the machine. I put a new LCD screen on it, and I also put a glass face instead of the plastic that came with it. And overall, this has turned out really good. I'm not going to talk about too much in here because I'm going to do a dedicated video for this, but I will show you gameplay on this. Now tell me if you have, this is the way you want to play Game Gear. And that's definitely what I've come to realize, and this has made the game so much more fun to me. So let me show you a quick, game running on this so you guys could see how this Game Gear looks after I did the mod on it. And this is Sonic 2 that's running on it, by the way. So yeah, I mean, as you can tell by the screen, this screen is crystal clear and it's fantastic. I love playing the games like this. I do need to take this apart because my screen didn't line up exactly the way I wanted it to. But, I mean, as you can see, I mean, that is definitely the way you want to play Game Gear games. So I think both kits together cost me right at about $100. And, you know, with a little bit of work, that's what I got out of my Game Gear, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, that's basically my modded Game Gear and my Turbografx Mini. So now I guess we'll move along to the games. Basically, I only have one handheld game to show here, so I'll show that first. I picked up Bit Trip Saga on the 3DS. And one of the main reasons why I picked this up is this is a really fun, kind of like a retro game. It's rhythm based, and this actually has all 6 of the games in the series up to this point in it. And this is a really fun game, and it's really, really cheap. I didn't pay much over $5 for this, if I remember correctly. So this is one I definitely suggest picking up if you guys like a 3DS. But yeah, Bit Trip Saga on the 3DS. Alright, so moving right along. A few weeks ago or so, I did a modern pickups video from GameStop. And basically, I got 8 games at that point in time. I got 4 Xbox One and 4 PlayStation 4 games. So the first one I got was Monster Hunter on the Xbox One. We had Atari Flashbacks Classics Volume 2 on Xbox One. Guardians of the Galaxy, the Telltale series on Xbox One. I'm a big fan of the Telltale games. I like story-driven games, and, you know, these have really fun, like, quick-time events in them and stuff. I haven't played any of these yet, so I'm sorry if I can't really say much about them. Here's a freaking great game. We've got Mortal Kombat X on Xbox One. So much fun. So on PS4, we have God Eater 2 Rage Burst. Borderlands, the Handsome Collection on PS4. Assassin's Creed Origins. That new Assassin's Creed game looks really, really cool, by the way. I'm a really big fan of Vikings and stuff like that, so I'm pretty excited to try the new Assassin's Creed. J-Star's Victory vs. Plus. And last but not least, this is not one of the PS4 games I picked up in that GameStop video. I bought this on eBay. But this is one I haven't played yet, and I've heard so many great things about it. I definitely plan on spending some time with it. We have the new God of War on PS4. Yeah, so those are my Xbox One and PS4 pickups over the last, month and a half or so. Alright, so moving right along, let's do PS1. Now, this is a system that I've been collecting really hard for lately. A lot of these are fillers, so I'm going to shoot through them really quick. What I've been doing a lot is picking up big bundles of these games. So there are a few games that I really wanted for the collection, and then a bunch of stuff that's just thrown in. But it's kind of the cheapest way to go about collecting the PS1, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and knock these out real quick. Alright, so we have Jeopardy. We've got Crash Bash. Army Men World War. Rayman Rush. South Park Chef's Love Shack. Cubics Robots for Everyone. Madden 2000. Bowling. Barbie Super Sports. Walt Disney World Quest Magical Racing Tour. Mary-Kate and Ashley Magical Mystery Mall. Medal of Honor. Toy Story 2. Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue. 007 Racing. Pro Pinball Fantastic Journey. The Powerpuff Girls Chemical Extraction. 007 The World Is Not Enough. A lot of PlayStation 1 here, guys. Sorry about that. We have Spin Jam Puzzled You Will Be. We've got Barbie Race and Ride. Action Bass. We've got Disney's The Lion King, Simba's Mighty Adventure. We've got IHRA Motorsports Drag Racing. Spec Ops Covert Assault. NBA Jam Extreme. NFL Game Day 99. NBA Live 2001. Cool Borders 3. NHL 99. NASCAR Heat. NHL Face-Off 97. Jeremy McGrath Supercross 98. Andretti Racing. Tiger Woods 99 without the manual. Triple Play 2000. Nickelodeon's Rocket Power Team Rocket Rescue. Spec Ops Ranger Elite. Virtual Pool. Alright, so the last bunch of them here. We've got NFL Game Day 97. Car and Driver presents Grand Tour Racing 98. Ridge Racer Type 4. NASCAR Racing. NASCAR 99. Caesar's Palace 2000. ATV Quad Power Racing. Golden Nugget. Siphon Filter 2. Jet Moto. Atari Anniversary Edition Redux. Jet Moto 2. The Dukes of Hazzard Racing for Home. Driver, You Are the Wheelman. I think these are just duplicates, so I'm not going to show these. Yeah, all these are duplicates, so I'm not going to show those. So that's basically the PlayStation 1 pickups. Now, as I'm sure you noticed, there are a lot of filler titles in there. But honestly, I did pick up some stuff that I was looking forward to getting. South Park Chef's Love Shack. I have a lot of nostalgia for that game. Ridge Racer Type 4 is a fantastic game. The Jet Moto games are super nostalgic for me. Jet Moto 1 was actually the first PlayStation 1 game I ever owned. You know, Cool Borders is a fantastic series of games that I like a lot. You had some Crash games in there. Some Rayman Rush is an interesting racing style game. So yeah, a lot of filler, but definitely some games I've had some fun with. And I'm happy to add all those to the collection. So yeah, that's basically the PS1 titles. So let's go ahead and move on to the original Xbox games that I picked up. So yeah, a little bit of a disclaimer here. These are actually the very first Xbox original games I have had in my collection for a long time. I still owned an original Xbox up until this point, but to be honest with you, I basically used it as a modded Xbox original. I was running coin ops in it basically, but I decided I wanted to go ahead and pick up some of the physical games again. And I got these for about $2 a piece, so I figured that was a good deal. So for the original Xbox, we have Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, Call of Duty Finest Hour, Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. This is the Sega GT 2002 and Jet Set Radio Future like combo pack. It's got like both games in it. And then when you open it up, the disc basically looks like that, like it has you know, both games on the disc. So that's really neat. We have Enter the Matrix, Mercenaries Playground of Destruction, and last but not least, we have Full Spectrum Warrior 10 Hammers. Yeah, so I haven't had a chance to play any of these, but the games were in great shape and they were all complete. And I figured for $2 a piece, that was a good deal. So these are the first, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 original Xbox games I have in my collection. And I do plan on buying plenty more games for that system in the future. Alright, so what are we going to do next? I guess let's go ahead and let's move on to Nintendo 64 next. So, not very many games, but I did pick up some stuff that was cool, and I actually got some cool stuff from Video Games Monthly as well. But we've got the Powerpuff Girls Chemical Extraction, which I just showed that on PlayStation 1 as well. We've got Mortal Kombat Mythologies Sub-Zero. This was a terrible game. The mechanics were really bad, the platforming was bad. But I am kind of disappointed that we didn't see where this series was going to go, because they were going to do a Scorpion game in this series next, I think. So, unfortunately, this game didn't do well. But, you know, had they had the chance, they could have really done really good with this series, and probably could have corrected a lot of the mistakes they made. We have Iggy's Wrecking Balls. You know, this is a game I don't hear many people talking about ever, but this is actually such a fun racing style game, kind of like a combat racing system. You're basically making it through a track to try to defeat everybody, but you can like throw your opponents around or stomp on them and stuff like that. You're basically little balls with attitude, I guess you could call it. But this is a really fun racing game. I highly suggest you guys give it a try. But it's kind of plays like a 2D game, but it's got 3D elements. But yeah, Iggy's Wrecking Balls, definitely something you guys should check out. Alright, so we've got Deadly Arts, which is not a very good fighting game. And last but not least, we've got 007, The World Is Not Enough. And I just got this from Video Games Monthly, and I'm super happy to finally get this game in my collection. Alright, so that's it for that. So I guess let's go ahead and show Super Nintendo next, guys. So once again, Super Nintendo, I only picked up about 6 games here. But, you know, I did get a couple things I'm excited to have. So first up, we have Bram Stoker's Dracula. We have Shanghai 2 Dragon's Eye, which I'm guessing is a Mahjong game. Mahjong or Mahjong, however you say it. Alright, so we've got Super Bowling, which is another one I got from Video Games Monthly, and I did try this a little bit, and this is actually a really fun bowling game. If you like video games based off bowling, that is. So we've got Firepower 2000, which is a fun game. A really good side-scrolling type beat-em-up game that I don't hear a lot of people talking about. It's a game that's pretty well known, but nobody brings this game up. We have Rival Turf. I cannot tell you guys how fun this is. I popped this in once I bought it, and I was having an absolute blast with this, but I do like beat 'em ups a lot, so that could be the reason why. But Rival Turf, if you don't have it, it's cheap, and it's fun. Okay, so last up, a game I've been wanting to add for quite a while. I've heard good things about this game, and I was having fun with it. We've got the side-scrolling platformer, Adventures of Yogi Bear. So yeah, it's a side-scrolling platformer. It's got beautiful graphics. The audio is good. Some of the music is really good. It's just fun. I mean, that's all I can really say. It kind of reminds me a little bit of, not necessarily the exact same mechanics, but kind of reminds me of Inspector Gadget on the Super Nintendo in a weird way. But Inspector Gadget had a lot of different mechanics in it. Mainly just from the visual standpoint, and because they're like 2D side-scrolling platformers. But yeah, so those are my Super Nintendo games I picked up. So we're down to the last system. So the last system I want to show you is Sega Genesis. Now, growing up, Sega Genesis meant a lot to me. I actually preferred that over the Super Nintendo. But in my adult years, I didn't really collect for the Sega Genesis. I had one, but I mainly used it to play Sega Master System games on, to be honest with you. But here lately, I've been really getting into collecting the Genesis more. I really love those clamshell cases they came in. And, you know, I've just been having a blast replaying some of these Sega Genesis games. So let's go ahead and show you guys the Sega Genesis games that I picked up over the last month or so. Some of these are fillers, so I'm going to shoot through them pretty quick. We have Barkley's Shut Up and Jam. We have Sports Talk Baseball, which is actually pretty fun for a baseball game. We have Madden 96. We have NHL PA Hockey 93. Another pretty fun sports game. We've got Genesis version of Jurassic Park. I actually prefer this one over the Super Nintendo version. You can actually play as a dinosaur in this game, so that's really, really neat. But if you haven't played the Sega Genesis version of this game, it's, to me, a lot more fun than the Super Nintendo game, and the graphics on this are really good. We have Pac-Man 2, The New Adventure. Some people like this one. I can't get into it. Alright, so we have Super WrestleMania. So much fun, so much nostalgia for this game. You know, going back to these old wrestling games, some of the most fun I have with these is the rosters. It's so neat to go back and see what wrestlers were included on these old WWF games. Classic, one of my favorite arcade games of all time. We've got NBA Jam. Even people who don't like sports games like NBA Jam. Okay, so we've got Mick and Mac Global Gladiators. I have not really had a chance to play this one. Let me know if you guys have, and let me know how this game is down in the comments. I haven't played this one either, so let me know. I think this is some sort of weird first-person perspective game or whatnot. We have Death Duel on Sega Genesis. Let me know if you guys know anything about this. Alright, so for Genesis we have Combat Cars. I just picked this one up, so I haven't had a chance to check this out yet. Alright, so next up, a game series people love, but I'm not really fond of. We have Echo the Dolphin, The Tides of Time. The original, the one that started out Sega Genesis' success. We have Sonic the Hedgehog, the original. I put so much time in that game when I was young. We've got Batman Forever. This is such a bad game. Horrible game. We've got a pretty decent fighting game on the Genesis. We've got Eternal Champions. You could do a lot worse. Let me just say that. We've got X-Men on the Genesis. Some people tend to hate on this game a lot, but when I play it, I actually have quite a good time with this game. It is hard, but it's fun. So yeah, X-Men on the Genesis. We have The World of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck. You just really can't go wrong with any of these Disney games in the 16-bit generation. Except for the Fantasia game, that one's pretty bad. We've got Street Fighter 2 Special Championship Edition, which Street Fighter 2 is iconic. We've got Tiny Toon Adventures Buster's Hidden Treasure. I was playing this a little bit the other night, and it's fun for a platformer, you know, standard 2D platformer. I actually really like this. And Tiny Toon Adventures was really one of my favorite cartoons when I was a young kid. We've got Sonic Spinball. I mean, you know, it's a video pinball game, and to be honest with you, I don't think this one's very good. So we've got Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Took everything that Sonic the Hedgehog did and made it better. Alright, so we've got Castlevania Bloodlines. I typically don't pick up loose Sega Genesis games, but for a few of these I had to make the exception because I found these for such a great deal. But yeah, Castlevania Bloodlines, this is such a good game. I've spent about 2 hours playing this game, and God, is this good. I like this way more than Castlevania 4 on the Super Nintendo. We've got Contra Hard Corps for the Genesis. I just picked this up the other day, so I really haven't had a chance to play this, but I love the Contra series of games. So this was one of the last ones from the 16-bit generation that I needed. So yeah, Contra Hard Corps, definitely an interesting looking game, and I'm looking forward to playing this. Let me know if you guys have played this. Is this one like really hard? Is it harder than Contra 3, the Alien Wars? Let me know down in the comments. And last but not least, we have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Hyperstone Heist. So this was basically Sega Genesis's answer to Turtles in Time. Because Turtles in Time, the second Ninja Turtles arcade game, didn't come to the Sega Genesis. This is actually really fun. Plays pretty much exactly like Turtles in Time, but it's a completely new story, and it's exclusive to the Sega Genesis. And I love the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I really do. So I try to pick up every game I possibly can. So yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Hyperstone Heist, probably my favorite pickup over the last month, like in general. But yeah, guys, so that's basically the Sega Genesis games, and that's pretty much all the games that I'm going to show in this video. I will put up the part 2 of this video sometime in the near future. But guys, I want to thank you so very much for watching this episode of GBA. If you haven't, please like, comment, and subscribe. It would help me grow the channel out, and I would appreciate that so much. If you guys know anybody who would like this kind of video game inspired content, please share the video around. I would appreciate that as well. Guys, I think I'm going to end this video. I'm going to go play some VR games. I've been charging my Quest to do that. But guys, I'm going to try to enjoy the rest of my evening, and I hope you do too. So until next time, everyone, I'll see you later.